you know, each day you're just kind of like, can I get this job done without it breaking? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying new stuff won't just take a fit on you, you know, puke up a hairball and die. I mean, that happens too, but in general it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like in general, it's more like okay, you know, you get a few seasons out of something, and then you chuck it out. If you take good care of it, especially when you get it new, and you know it hasn't been abused, because I mean, how many whippersnippers that are used that you get that some kid put straight gas in it a couple of times, just not enough to blow it up, but just enough to get his dad to yell at him. But you know, it's like now it's like working, it's almost blown up. You know what I mean? You get stuff like that. You don't know what you're getting when you get used equipment. And of course, you're always buying used equipment. I've always taken excellent care of it, blah, 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 blah. And it's usually never that. You know what I mean? It's usually, you know, and a lot of times it's not that they're lying to you that, oh, you know, I kept it, you know, I know how to run these things and blah, blah, blah. Chainsaws are a lot like, oh, I know how to run a chainsaw, whatever, you grab it, you do first cut with it, and the thing won't cut because the chain's dull. You know what I mean? But, oh, yeah, this guy took really good care of it, you know, but he didn't even know he had to resharpen the chain. You know what I mean? You see that, like, especially from homeowner types where they're not really labor savvy, you know what I mean? So they're not lying to you, it's just they don't know what they don't know, right? And kind of like that lawnmower I got last year, I was telling Paul called just as John showed up today, so I wasn't able to talk to Paul, but he's like, yeah, next week we're full, you know, we're full throttle next week there with the I could tell he was excited, I could tell he's all hyper in his voice there. So it's like, but he was saying, you know, like we're full throttle next week and whatever. And we have to have all our equipment ready to go, right? So it's one of those things that when your stuff is ready to go and you can rely on it, you feel good about it, you know what I mean? So like we picked up that riding mower, right? And that thing has already got names on it for like who we're gonna do jobs for, right? And whatever. But I picked up a lawnmower last year, and I was telling them, I said I got 4 lawnmowers from, you know, past couple of years, free, right? One, that Honda runs like a charm, but the throttle's messed up on it. You know, I sort of got it working, but you know, it needs, you know, a little plastic piece that, you know, good luck trying to order. You know what I mean? You just can't get it. You know, like Honda engine is no problem, but like the little throttle arms on it. So I gotta wait to either get another throttle arm to put on there. But I'm thinking I'll just sell it for $80. I mean, there's a Honda on there. I could probably sell it for $100. Saying, look, it's a great mower. It just needs this fixed. But I don't have time to mess with it. I got it for free. I'd rather sell it for $100, 80 to $100. And I mean, it's already made me, that little Honda has already made me $250. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost not worth it for me to fix it because I've got the other two. Now the Power Wheels, that one, it's pretty worn out, but I could maybe sell that for 50 to $80, right? And I don't like those Power Wheels at all. They're just way too freaking heavy. And it's okay if you got it like an open yard like this where you just, you know, let the wheels pull you around. But when you got to go around stuff, those wheels, they spin up the grass. They're really not that great. Like, I mean, they're good, but they're not. You know what I mean? The other one I got was a Yardworks. And you guys saw the videos last year. I mean, it was like it took a couple of maybe 10 pulls because it had been sitting, and you know, that one made me probably $250. You know, a little bit heavier, but a lot easier to manage, but a really good one. So that one I might keep. I'm not sure. If I keep 2, it'll be that one and this new little one that I got. I forget. It's forget what it is. The little black one. You saw the video last year where all it was, like, the blade is brand new on it. The oil's still clean in it. Like, this thing is still shiny paint and everything like that. It looks like it only got used maybe once or twice. But I pulled it just didn't seem like it wanted to run. So I pulled the filter off, and the filter was just caked in mud. That's all that was wrong with it. So I just have to get a filter for that. And that thing's nice and light. It'll even fit in the trunk here. You see if I could take the handle down and sit in the car. I'll put it in the front seat if I have to. Believe it or not, I'm not squeamish about putting dirty tools in my front seat. People, yes, but tools, no. But the point is that like I got that for free, and that one's practically brand new. Like just like the blade didn't even have hardly any wear marks on it, and you touch the blade on it and they were sharp. Like this thing is like brand new. I don't know how old it is, but it definitely didn't get a lot of use, and it's light and it's practical. So that thing is going to be okay. I'm going to invest a filter on it, just a little round, one of those little round filters, right? Put one of those suckers in there. This thing will run like a charm. I got it for free, so return on investment. You know what I mean? Like, and it's good for like little like I don't know if I'll be doing any graveyards this year. I haven't done a graveyard, cut a graveyard in a while. But there's some spots where you can't get in there with the riding mower, right? You're either going to use a whippersnipper or a riding mower typically in a graveyard, but there's some spots where you need the push mower. You know what I mean? Like to get around like certain areas. And, you know, in different graveyards and stuff like that. I don't think I'll be doing that, but there's a lot of flower beds and stuff like that at a lot of my clients. And the thing about that is if I have that, I mean, like that's one mower less that I have to buy, right? And if I have the two mowers, the Yardworks one and that one, and they both run like a charm, you know, the Yardworks one, the blade's it's a little more worn out because it's a really old mower, but the deck's still good on it. I think it's a Briggs and Stratton on that one, or a Kohler, whatever it is for an engine, and it again, I got it for free, and all I had to do was get it started. You know, it's a bit of a beast to lug around, but reliable. You know what I mean? So sometimes you can win with used equipment, but from that point on, you know, I would probably save up and buy brand new. You know what I mean? So when you're judging your equipment, you have to judge it from, you know, the condition it's in, but it is, you know, when you're getting anything used, it's a time bomb, right? And there's no warranty, nothing like that. That's the other thing about buying new. Like, for example, when I get it, like let's say that, like that tree right ahead of me, which is probably about 4.5, 5 feet round at the, wide at the base there. That's a very big tree. If I did a tree like that, I would definitely not want to use a used saw on that. You know what I mean? Like tree Kong, if I had tree Kong, say, for a couple of months and I knew I could rely on them, yeah, I'd tackle a tree like that. But other than that, I want a new saw, you know, because I don't want to be halfway through the face cut and, you know, plunging in and all of a sudden the saw, like, that's when it dies, right? And I don't have a backup saw, right? So that's kind of one of those things where, you know, reliability is in redundancy of having more and more equipment. So, like, if I get an odd tree like that, I mean, I'll be making a lot of money if I get a tree like that. It'll take me forever. But, I mean, I'd be the guy following it. But that's probably about a 5-man job, you know what I mean, just for about a week. I mean, I felled trees like that before. I didn't do the falling. The guy I teased in the scrapyard the other day there, Carl, where I teased him in his Ford truck, said, hey, you dropping that thing off? You scrapping that thing? Because he always teases me with my Dodges and stuff, right? But anyway, him and I, it was probably even bigger than that pine. It had come down, partially come down, it was derooted, and we had to cut it down, and it was a job. And you would believe the saw, he cut that down with like a 60cc saw. He cut down a tree like that. It took him like an hour to cut it down, but he cut it down. And I mean, the guy knows his saws and stuff like that, but he was just like chipping. He was just going in at it, you know. It's like, okay, I'll get it. I don't know how he did it, but he got it down, and like we had to cut it 4 ways on each block, the butt blocks, for about 10 blocks up before he could kind of cut it twice, you know. Like it was, I don't know how he did it. Like I guess a 22-inch bar or something like that, and he just was able to get it done. It was quite the job. It took us a week to clean up all the branches and everything. It was just all I was doing was just hauling. He was cutting those, and it was hot out. It was really hot out. But that was for a client. I work for that client's kids now, right? Well, they're not kids, but they're they're around my age. But his children and whatever. But yeah, I remember we cleaned up that tree, and that was, you know. But he had like 3 chainsaws there. You know what I mean? You know, otherwise we wouldn't have tackled it. You know, and that because one breaks down, you can grab the other one, right? And that's the whole thing, is having the redundancy. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that because I've been going on.